Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name's Luke, and I am honored to have first-time guest Glenn Christner on the show. Glenn, welcome to the show.
Hi, it's nice to be here.
Great having you on the show. Not only are you a first-time guest on this show, you are about ready to make your MMA debut in a week at Brawl in the Berg 13 for 247 Fighting Championship at Monroeville Convention Center, October 1st. Super excited to have you on the show. It's going to be your amateur debut at 185 pounds. Super exciting. I think that weight, along with maybe 205, tend to be the most exciting weight classes if you think about sort of the big names in UFC, MMA. So let's just jump in. What's going through your mind being a week out from your debut? How long has this been coming? Has this been something that you've wanted to do for a while, or something that you're thinking is at the perfect time now?
Well, I've wanted to fight like ever since I started training. Obviously, it's just been, what am I training for? I'm training for this fight. But whenever I finally got the opportunity to get a fight at 247, now I'm just focused on losing weight mainly because I'm cutting down from 200. And so I'm focused on losing weight, and I've been working a lot on what I need to work on for the fight, obviously. So it's training. But I'm excited. I'm not too excited, but I'm excited. I got more stuff to do before we get there in this last week.
Oh, I certainly agree with that. There's always a lot to do. Fight week, particularly your first fight week, there's a lot of things you're trying to dial in and figure out. It's the amateurs. You're trying to figure out what works for you. What led you into MMA? What got you training in whatever has brought you to this point?
I was a wrestler growing up. I loved wrestling. I didn't do anything but wrestle. I just went to like clubs and stuff. So whenever I finished, I did what every, high school athlete does and started lifting. And I wanted to get more active again. And I started this boxing gym, and then just one thing led to another. I was way better with the wrestling going in. So I did just stay boxing.
So you're currently training out of Ann DeVere's boxing. What is it like to be the MMA guy at the boxing? Is that something that they're open to, or are you kind of a rare fighter for that?
We do a lot of fights from 247. A couple of our guys. We have another guy fighting the same card, Colt, and so we do like other stuff other than boxing. It's just the name of the academy. MMA is definitely not like the head point of it, though. We have like special days for it. We've been focused a lot more on MMA with our two fighters coming in, me and the other guy, Colt. So yeah, it's what it is.
Well, I give a lot of credit to your coaches and those who run the gym. Obviously, it started as a boxing academy, hence the name. But I think you're absolutely right. A lot of gyms, whether they say boxing, BJJ, striking, kickboxing, Muay Thai, at some point have embraced MMA, and it's really exciting to see that. What have you enjoyed the most in the learning process?
What I enjoyed the most, I think I enjoy the people around me a lot. They're very supportive, but learning, like, I guess it's kind of cool to get punched in the face for like the first time in your life. You wouldn't like expect it to feel that way, but like getting hit, just realizing how much you could take as a person. It's like seeing the levels and how far you can go. It's very fascinating to me.
I mean, that makes sense. You've got to kind of have that fascination in order to stay in the fight game. And obviously, as you improve in your skills, then part of that getting hit becomes more of a game to see like, well, they can't hit me because, you're doing what you need to do. What are you predicting or want to see for yourself if you're not going to make a prediction for your debut fight? And it's always exciting to see debuters, debut versus debut. You don't necessarily know what your opponent's going to do. The commentator team, we don't really know what's going to happen until it kind of starts happening, because as fighters go, they kind of develop their skills and their style. But debut versus debut, it's always hard to know. So what do you want to see out of yourself, and what's your prediction?
I've been training a lot with the stuff that I plan on doing. I can't give it all away, but
Sure.
The plan is to stick with my endurance and try to control the match in the way that I have planned. I have a plan there. I have nothing on this guy. He hasn't posted anything. Like I'm a bit of a fanatic for like showing stuff, so I have a bunch of stuff posted everywhere.
Oh,
I don't have any of my sparring, so there's that. I was specifically told by my coach absolutely no sparring to be posted, but I have like bag work and stuff, so he can look at that. But I'd rather be like out there and show it.
sure.
Yeah, intimidation tactic is a lot better than the sneaky one. Yeah, somebody's gonna see me fight eventually.
Well, that's certainly true. And we know when that eventually will be, October 1st for 247. Super excited to see that. I did get to watch one of your turning, spinning back kicks on the heavy bag. That was nice. So clearly you do put some of your things out there. I think it's a good mindset your coach has to kind of say, like, you know, keep some of your stuff to the cage, to the fight. So that way it's not all, but everybody's got their own style. If your style is to kind of show your skills, then that's great. You brought up kind of dictating the way the fight goes. I think that's really significant in MMA. You know, there are boxers, even high level boxers. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather can punch, don't get me wrong, but his style is a very defensive style. If you went into a fight with Floyd and you refused to punch, it would be incredibly boring because he basically waits to get the timing. That's why I think Conor did so well for a while, was because that's Floyd's go-to. Let the person fight a lot because of his defense. In MMA, that can happen, but oftentimes you have to kind of dictate where the fight's going, what the pace is, what skills are being used, or else your opponent could be pulling out whatever is best for them. So it's super exciting for debut versus debut, because what it really does is you will have the opportunity to do what you want in your fight. He's going to be looking to do what he wants in his part of the fight too. So that's always very exciting. Have you been to a 247 card before or other amateur live MMA? And if so, what was it like being in person? I think that's something that most fighters kind of benefit from, watching live at least once to kind of see the fight, but also hear the breathing, hear kind of the atmosphere and all that. So have you been to a fight before, and what was that like for you?
I have. I went to I don't remember which one, but one of our Ambios guys went. His name was Matt, and he fought the heavyweight, and it was awesome. It had to be the best experience. Every time I like started following 247 after that, I just want to get to like the fights, and like this was the next. I think it was literally the last fight, because this fight that I'm fighting in now was the first fight that was coming up, and I would have bought tickets to it if I wasn't fighting in it. I love the experience. I sat in like the lesser than the back tables. I don't know. It was like the medium tickets, and that was great. We got to watch him come out, the music, just everything about it. I loved it. I pounded down like 4 energy drinks that day. It was great experience. Recommend it to anyone. I do recommend it to everyone, actually.
Well, I think you just shared something that's really important, Glenn, and that is you got to be a fan of the sport, and you are. We see this at the UFC at the highest level, is when the fighters aren't fighting, they're cornering other people or they're attending fights. You got to be a fan of the sport. I think it shows a lot to the product that 247 Fighting Championship puts out, that you came to one and you'd have come again. Of course, you're fighting, but you'd have come again as a paying fan. I think that's the type of product they want to put out from, I know I'll say it in a week on the commentary team, is from 0-0 debut, which you're a part of that, from 0-0 debut all the way up to the main event, which is a really significant pro 145-pound title defense for the Wolverine, Ethan Goss. It matters. All those fights matter, and they want it to be a great product from the debuts all the way up to the experienced vets that have 20 pro fights. And I think that kind of shows, and that quality shows. So thrilled that you got to see one of the events, and then now that you're going to be a part of it. Who do you want to thank? What's something or someone, whether it's sponsors or just supporters, that have meant a lot to you in this journey?
Well, my coach has done a lot. Aldo Garcia, he's he's literally taught me everything that I know except for like the wrestling portions. But every part of it is the kicks, the punches, strikes, everything. He's taught me. He taught me how to train. He gave me the regimens, the endurance training, everything. I have a few good guys here, like Gavin Moore, he's younger, but he's coming up, and he helps me with like lifting. He's always here with me. We do a lot of weight training because I was like a bodybuilder, and then I came into this. So we still do these like weird, like bodybuilding, athletic workouts, kind of. They switch in between. They're like a variant, but I love the guys around me. They've been helping me a lot. So.
Well, that's what makes it fun. Not only is it nice for you to thank the people around you that are helping you, but also doing workouts like you're saying, doing body work and workouts that help you in MMA, but are also kind of its own thing, helps with the mental excitement and energy. There's a lot of fatigue that can go into training from MMA. That's why cross training is so important. Training with people that enjoy what they're doing, even if it's a component of MMA, or in your case, you still like the lifting and the workouts like that. Some of that CrossFit type stuff, that enjoying working out is always super exciting. Thanks so much for taking time out, a week out from your fight. It's been incredible having you on. You've been listening to first-time guest Glenn Christner on the show, MMA Fancast with Luke Payson. Thanks so much for coming on, Glenn.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Have a good one. See you in a week.